morning and welcome to day 37 of our second annual WSOP Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches, and my co-host this morning, software Brian Pinkus, is landing, going home this morning, so he's at the airport.
What is my name?
It's something like, I don't know,
Oh
Pinkus,
my
Brian
gosh.
Software. So there you go.
Jeez.
You know I have to mess with you. Would I not?
Oh,
You know I have to mess with you. Come on,
one of
software.
these days you'll finally get it, Sherry.
I would not count on that.
Okay, all right.
Many thanks to our sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor-made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their webpage at elevatorresultspt.com. Be reminded you could find the recordings of our past spaces at my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212, and kind of behind posting there because none of my hotels here in Vegas have had good enough internet. So I'll have to catch all those up when I'm at home starting tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. So good morning, Brian.
Good
morning,
morning.
software, Brian. How are you?
Oh, perfect. Good morning. I just landed. We're off the plane. We're home for the day or two. Gonna head back Friday and play the main event Saturday.
Whoop, whoop, let's go. I'm so glad you're taking a few days at home to just regroup. That's awesome. Great decision.
Well, the family hasn't seen me in a month, pretty much, almost off and on. My
Is
my
that
my daughter, who never talks to me hardly on the phone, called me yesterday and was like talking for about 2 hours. So I was like, I
Aw.
guess I'm finally missed. But yeah, I'm gonna go to her. She has a dress rehearsal. She's in
Nice.
she's in a show at the Redlands Bowl. Big show,
Nice.
5,000 seats or something, and so we're gonna go to the dress rehearsal.
Well, that's awesome. And, be reminded, I haven't been home since February 22nd, which every time I say that, it just is mind boggling to me. It's been that long. So I'm looking forward to going home myself.
Yeah, and I got to spend some time with Cody and his family last night. Really, really pretty cool. I was telling Abby, I said, these people will be up your alley, Abby, so we really enjoyed some time with them.
Awesome.
So,
Very good. All right. So good morning, Donna. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Offline stuff.
Offline stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How's that headache going?
Not good. That's the reason why it's got to be offline stuff.
Okay. We will later.
Yes.
I just want to remind everybody I did do the drawing for the awesome that Jim Rec Poker gave us. 2-month memberships to the Rec Poker site. Winners were Wolfie, the poker boss, Dennis, and Isaac. So congratulations
everything.
to this.
That guy, he won more in the Splash the Pots, I think, than he did at the table. Of course,
he did pretty good.
Of course, he didn't have Sean McCormick to his right or left. I mean, what a clown that guy is.
Still a little bitter, I see, but many thanks to Jim for those Splash the Pot donations. We appreciate you. And you guys check out Rec Poker and become members because it is an awesome site for sure. I also wanted to make a couple announcements. Sorry to hear there won't be pizza at the Wingate on July 4th. Kudos to for trying to organize a game, and I'm sorry to hear that it's been canceled due to lack of interest because honestly, one of my goals doing the meetup games is so that other folks will do all over the world, honestly, and set a precedent. We can, as spacers, hold meetup games and have some fun together. So I was a little disappointed to hear that, but kudos Ruben for trying to
Yeah,
organize
for
that
sure.
over at Wingate. So I want to help get about that. It definitely was canceled. So that's that. Friday at 4:30 Pacific time. Steamboat Cookie Monster, aka Mark Diswitz, will just for a chat at our normal interview time, chat about the bracelet he recently won, and I'm excited that software actually approached him and asked him if he would interview with us. So
Well,
thanks for that,
we were
Brian.
playing the tag team, and the banter between the two of us was pretty next level, Sherry. So I said, you know what? I think that if you come on, we can give a master class, and so make sure you tune into that if you want to improve your poker banter game.
Awesome. Seems like a nice guy. I think it's meant to be because I was in the Poker Org Players
Yeah,
Lounge and ran
that's
into.
funny.
I turned around and there he stood, and I was lucky. He's like, "Yep," and I said, "Sherry Pluskota, you're going to come interview with us." He's like, "Oh my god!" And we chatted for a bit. What a delightful guy.
He's like super um good player, obviously, and just a great attitude, like
Yes.
this. Now I'll have to say he did celebrate the short stack doubling up. He was happy for the guy. I am never happy when a short stack doubles up. Forget him. I want all of you out. I want all the chips.
Right, right. And let's face it, if the short stack goes on into the money or even to, top three or to win it, you're always thinking about, did I take him out when we had the chance? Like, come on.
it,
The
it
point of a tournament is to eliminate people.
It was brutal, Sherry. I mean, imagine, basically two people that talk as much as I do at the table, and then
Right.
these guys, these poor people, like the guy to my left. So I think I raised. No, yeah, I raised with 2-4, Sherry. I get 3-bet. and then and then Cookie calls. So I'm like, I am
Shoot.
in with my 2-4. And Sherry, I flop a gut shot, and this poor gentleman with his like pocket aces or something decided to bet the flop, and Abby and I got there on the turn just in time for the poor gentleman with aces to jam all in right into our nut straight there, like so.
Well,
it
bravo.
was it was pretty probably one of the funnest hands of the summer. You're just sitting there, you're like,
Oh,
dealer, please put a 3 down there, because if you put a
just
3,
one time.
I am gonna collect all the chips.
Right
So it
on.
was it was a
Right
beautiful 3
on.
on the turn, and we did that.
And you
So
complained somehow you complained when she got a three on the turn and the river.
yeah,
Hmm.
well, he got 2 of them. Sherry, I only wanted 1, so
Oh my god! And somehow I don't think he was cheering himself for the three until the first one showed up. But that's kind of not here
yeah.
nor there. I'll shout out to ASG as well as our friend Warren for continuing to send me things of interest for our space. I appreciate you, ASG and Maureen. Um, all those tidbits definitely help in what we're doing here every day. So thank you. A little shout out to Vanessa and J9 and Zach, who I had a chance to spend some time with yesterday. We went to Binion's for dinner, and then we went over to see Zach. We tried to find Raja and Frank, but Raja got moved, and so that was unfortunate. We didn't get to see him, but I'm glad I saw him at the meetup game. And to Frank, fuck you, Frank. Fuck you for avoiding me. I say that
Whoa.
jokingly. I say that jokingly. He knows I am. But anyway, I did not get to see Frank. Maybe next time. And it was a nice last evening in Vegas.
Sherry, I got my editor coming to the house today. We're gonna get in
Nice.
this podcast studio and hammer out some vlogs. That's the plan.
Nice. And I also want to give a little shout out to Christy from Pretty in Poker for her awesome donations. Um, I didn't know what she was donating prior to, so I really couldn't give her any shout outs. So many thanks to Christy. And I got her website, Pretty in Poker. She has some awesome ice. And I appreciate her supporting one of my projects for sure. Do you want to tell us anything else about the tag team event you guys were in?
So, Sherry, we sat down for day 2. We were cruising along, and here's the thing. The guy poor dude to my right. First off, I sat down. I said, "Hey, listen, guys, a World Series of Poker cash is probably a huge deal to your partner. So do not blow this. Let's go. Make sure that you're careful here and fold a lot of hands." And I was picking up some big hands to against the poor gentleman to my right. I think he raised 3 times in a row, and I 3-bet him all 3 times. One time I showed him the jacks, but I didn't show him the kings and I think queens. So we are about 15 off the money, and he raises again to 5,000, no, 6,500. And I look down at pocket kings. I re-raise him to 16,500, kind of hoping to induce, and he obliges and jams in with ace queen off, and that was it. That we were history there. Sherry hit the ace on the turn, knocked Abby and I out.
Darn it.
And here's the ironic thing: if Abby's playing there, we probably win the hand because Abby is 100% jamming all in, and I don't know if that guy is calling with his ace queen off.
Exactly.
12
As
off
I
the
said in a
money.
tweet yesterday, Abby's got to find a new tag team partner. Maybe
Yes.
her uncle can play with her next
Yeah,
year.
Abby might want a different tag team partner next year. So, but
Because her mentor and teacher told her to shove with those cards, but he didn't do it himself.
in all seriousness, it was a blast having Abby get to stand there and when she played and whatever. Because especially the first table, Sherry, these guys were so mad at me. I mean, like I won probably 8 out of the first 10 hands, and they're just like really angry. And so this guy, we get to this hand, I've got about 30,000 from 20. This guy, I raise, I make the nut flush on the turn on a paired board, and he checks to me. I bet. Uh, there's, by the way, Sean, since you're here, now that I remember, there were 2 3s on the board. 2 3s, Sherry. And I make the nut
How
flush. He
coincidental.
checks to me. I bet he calls the river. Another 3. Another 3. There's 3 3s out there, and he checks to me like I'm a stupid donkey and gonna bet the nut flush on a board with 3 3s. I've seen Sean McCormick play this night and day all
Good
the
thing.
time.
Hey, good thing she gave you that lesson the other night.
So I check behind with the nut flush, And this guy, immediately turn it over, even though it's his turn, but he's doing the whole, I'm going to wait and do my slow burial, right? So I turn over the cards. He shakes his head, no. Oh. And then he goes to muck and he tosses them out there and then he grabs them and turns them over. And I'm like,
What a jackass.
in front of him. And it was just a beautiful thing. If I had had more time, Sherry, if you hadn't moved me from that table, I would have done the same thing to McCormick. But
I think I
you
saved you
moved
from
me.
McCormick. I think I saved you from
Yeah,
McCormick.
maybe.
Raja,
So
welcome
it was
this morning. Oh, sorry. I thought you were
playing the satellite share, so I'll
it
be
was
back.
It was fun though, Sherry. Poker News came and interviewed Abby and I, which it's a really funny thing because back in the day when Abby was really small, we would go to the World Series every day, every year, and they'd do the same thing. We'd record. I should find them. They'd say, "Hi, I'm Hannah," and Abby would say, "And I'm Abby, and we're here for the 2008 or 9 or whatever World Series of Poker." And poor Abby and I, we have a little attention problem. So it was always
No.
impossible for poor Abby. So Poker News comes to interview us. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And they fire a question at Abby, and she is like a pro. She hammered the question. It was perfect.
Good for
So,
her.
yeah, well, Melanie
Awesome.
reminds me she is 22 years old. So, although a
Yeah.
lot of people were asking for her IDs, but I'll tell you, people once they saw her play, they really they didn't care how old she was. They wanted her in there. They they were begging. They were like, please put her in here.
Yeah, because her dad's being
So
a jerk at the table and winning all the damn hands.
yeah, it was brutal, especially the beginning. I didn't blame those guys. I would have been really mad. And the guy to my right at the end, like, I'm like, what are you gonna do, Sherry? The person's re-raised you. They've shown you one time pocket jacks, and you're now the fourth time getting re-raised. Like 4 3 bets in a row. I mean,
Right.
it teaches you though too. Like sometimes the person just has it and they're on a run of cards and it's not you. So
100%. 100%. Well, I am going to welcome Fats. Good morning, Fats.
good morning,
Sherry.
Fat.
I posted into the Jumbotron. I did an interview with a podcast in Canada called In Play Live, and it dropped yesterday, and it just dropped
Awesome.
this morning. So I posted it up in the Jumbotron for anybody that wants to listen to it.
Awesome. Good for you, Fats. That's great. Thank you for sharing
Awesome.
that.
And
For sure.
and Brian, what a donkey the way you played those games. How dare you
I
not play the
know.
kings the same way you taught your daughter
So
how to play them?
totally. Isn't that funny? If Abby's in there, we are in the money. And I was just thinking, Fats, I'm like, we're getting to the money. Let's let Abby sit down and officially make the money. No,
Yeah, you robbed that pleasure
no.
from her.
I robbed her of her first and 100% cashes in the World Series of Poker, a record never probably matched ever.
That's
She could
settles
have had
it.
a
But
better
She needs to
winning percentage in the WSOP than Kessler.
well,
oh
yeah,
God.
far
Stop.
better than Kessler. I mean, if we
Stop.
won the event, she'd probably have a better Hendon mob. I'm just kidding.
Stop. But she does need to trade up to her uncle next year for the team, and these are all the reasons why.
Sherry, sometimes. Oh, I see Matt Savage has joined us. Hey, Matt.
Oh, I don't see him.
You
That's
don't see
weird.
him?
No.
He's down at the bottom there. Bathwater for buy-ins.
I love it. I was like, I don't see Matt. Maybe my Twitter is acting crazy. That's hilarious. All
Either
right.
that or McCormick has two devices. I don't know.
Me. It could be. Might be. All right, let's move on to day 36. Um, was yesterday at the WSOP, and let's look at what took place. Event number 73, $25,000 roller pot limit at Omaha. There were 5 players left going into yesterday. David Elderidge was our chip leader going to today, and he was our victor coming out of yesterday. He first place for 2.2 million, and Brian Rast, who went into yesterday in fourth place in chip stacks, came in for 1.4 million. So congrats to them.
Yeah, Yuha Helpy as well has been having a great year too.
Right
So
on.
500, another 500K for him for fifth place. And
Good for
this,
him.
Sherry, this is one of those player of the year events. So that's
One of your
really great
favorites.
for them. I mean Raker of the year. Eric Lindgren getting a pretty decent cash there too, of 85,000. Isildur with 85,000
Me.
as well for 22nd. So
Sorry
great,
for that
great,
sneeze.
great summer for Isildur. Tom Dwan back there in 33rd for 60K.
Very good. To all the winners. Event number 74 is the 10K 7-card stud high low 8 or better. There were 8 going into yesterday, and they had to stop play at Heads Up. So Heads Up will continue today at some point. They are
Oh
guaranteed
my goodness.
250,000. The winner will take 376K. And right now, Richard Schuyler is in first place as far as chip stacks are concerned with 5.5 million. Arash, I'm going to spell his last name, Ghaneian, is in second place with 4.4 million. Of course, anything could happen with that tournament. Event number 75 is our tag team.
Wait, hang on 1 second there. The Todd Brunson there finished fourth in that event, and Eric Wasserson was fifth. So
Awesome.
And Sherry, the guy with the chip lead, I believe his last name is Scalar, Skalar, not Skyler.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Richard Scalar has 5.5 million. Thank you, Fats. Appreciate that. Event number 75 is the team, and there are 22 teams left, I'm assuming. Joan Perez and
yeah.
Javier Rodriguez has 3.7 million in chips, and Joshua Hopkins and Charles, I think it's Cohen, has 3.3 million in chips. So they will get back to it today and find a winner. A notable in the field is a spacer, Catherine Brandt, and Jan
There we
Weir
go.
have 355,000 in chips in that event. So good luck to all of them.
Oh, they got to get some work done there.
I know they do. A couple of double ups, and you're right back in it to win.
Yep.
Number 76 is the 10K Mystery Bounty, 8.9 million the prize, and we have 9 left. Until 9 is $80,000. Tuan, I believe is how you say this gentleman's name, or it could be a female. Navez has 16 million in chips, and Damarjai Davenport has 10 million in chips. Good luck to those folks today.
Dan Jack finishing in 10th in that for 62K. Buddy Jay Farber there in 15th for 50K. So, and then Sean Deep finished in 20th for 40,000.
Good job. That's awesome. Event number 77 is the $2,500 mixed big bet. Oh, big. I don't know what I have this. Anyways,
Mixed
the
bed bet,
2,500.
big bet, 6-handed.
Oh, it is called Big Bet. Every time I read that, I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
So
No.
thank you. There are 19 left, and Wing Lu has 2.3 million. So he's our chip leader. A name we haven't seen in the top chip stacks yet, Alan Foxon, has 2.2 million in chips. So they're very close, and a lot of poker to be left to be had there. They're
Yeah.
guaranteed $8,660, and there are 19 left. Go ahead.
And Phil Hellmuth, I think he's still running laps around the Aria at this hour. He finished in 21st there for $8,660. So yeah, he's been jogging all night.
Kudos to Phil. Event number 78, the $1,000 mini main, has 5.5 million in the prize pool. There were 6,093 entries, 486 remain, guaranteed $2,257. First place will take home $555K. Second place will take home $370K. Juan Bancel, I believe is how you say their name, has 2.8 million in chips and is our chip leader. And Jamie Dewan has 2.7 million in chips. Any comments?
Yeah, I was just looking through. That is crazy. They got down to 480 or somewhere in there from 6,000 players in one day.
Yeah.
With that event, you get a ton of chips. So
Yeah. I was a little surprised to see that
No,
as well.
I think I can explain that.
okay.
I think there's 500 of them that are still in line.
Oh,
Yeah. You might not be
that's
wrong.
funny. That
You
is
might,
funny.
you might not be wrong about that.
Sherry, you skipped the Colossus. That one we had a winner in last night. I was actually there watching, and I gotta tell you, it was encouraging and infuriating all at the same time. These guys, five-handed, were absolutely torching ICM. And I'm standing there next to this guy. He had just a buddy, kind of seemed like a casual acquaintance on the rail. And I start looking at the chip stacks, and I pulled the guy over and I'm like, dude, like, let these guys, I mean, like, they had like the like he's like fifth in chips, and like the number one and number two stacks are jamming it in, and like every other hand there's like these guys are all in. He's got like 18 19 bigs. I'm like, dude, let these guys knock each other out, get to heads up, and then move from there. Like I do not understand what these guys were doing. And the guy that won, he got aces cracked five-handed, and he was down to 11 million. The blinds were 6 million. He doubled up, he doubled up, he doubled up, and then, I had to leave, and he went on to win it.
And what's his name?
His name is Martin Alcade. Played, obviously very good. He did the one thing that the rest of them weren't doing. He just waited for, the cards, and, he had a lot of bad luck. I mean, he jams in with aces, and the guy calls him with Jack 10 off for his whole stack. And these guys are not the low stacks. They're, maybe the chip leader, and third or something like that, and the guy's calling him off with Jack 10. It's like, what on earth is going on here? Like, definitely not Sean Deeb approved, or whoever the IC. I guess he's the markup police. Who's the ICM police? Like,
I don't know
these guys.
ICM police, but there is definitely a markup police officer. Sean Deeps is definitely the police officer of markup. So I appreciate you updating us on the Colossus. We're going to go on to event number 79. 79 is the 50K high roller pot limit, Omaha. There is 6.2 million in the prize pool, 131 entries, and there are 61 left. And our chip leader, Jason Mercier, has 1.5 million. Jared Blensnick has 1.4 million. Some notables still in there: Benjamin, Seaver, Lamb, and Zeno. So, any comments on that one? Hit your microphone button.
I said, yeah, in this one, in the picture, I see Jason wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Nothing stirs up the poker table like a little political conversation, Sherry. It is, I don't care what side
Let
you're
me
on.
just tell you that I travel with one of those hats because if I end up at a table with this one particular person, I will have that hat on because it will
That's too
send her
funny.
off the fucking deep end. So there you go. Avi, welcome. Good morning, Avi.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Sherry. Hey, Brian and Donna. I had one
Hey,
quick
Avi.
little question. I started playing on WSOP.com. I can't figure out how to sit out at cash games. Does anyone happen to know how to do that?
Not me.
I haven't played on the new client.
Okay, in case anyone who's listening knows how to do that, it'd be helpful.
Did you ask Chase?
Yeah, I don't
did.
know.
He doesn't know. I think people kind of more play tournaments on there. I'll try to find some Vegas locals or something.
How about Ruben? He may.
Yeah, good call. I'll DM people. Thanks. With me, I'm at my last night here at Paris / the Horseshoe. I'm going to be moving on to a smaller casino off the strip for a bit. Hey, what's up, Rena?
Hey, are you playing on your phone or online?
I'm playing up on my iPad.
Because when I'm on my iPhone, you got to go to your top left screen and you press the three little lines, and then it's your top button that says "sit out."
Okay, I went to that screen, but I only saw leave. I didn't see sit out.
Yeah, the very top one is sit out. I couldn't find it either on my phone, but then I looked at the very top one that says sit out. Here, I'll go back there right now.
I appreciate it though. Like that, I'll look closer at that. But so I'm staying at Sunset Station or something. What was it called? I'm staying like 8 miles away from the strip for a couple days. I just like went downstairs and was kind of overwhelmed at how much traffic is here all of a sudden for the 3rd and 4th of July and the World Series of Poker. Just
I can't hear anybody. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay, Brian.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to being a little more low key for the next couple days.
Are you going to go to the strip to see the 4th of July fireworks, Avi, or no?
I could be down, yeah.
Awesome. I think everybody should do that once in their life. I did it, I think it was last summer or the summer before. I think everybody should do that at least once in their life. It definitely is a different experience. Go ahead, Fats.
I wanted there's something you were saying at the beginning, and I didn't get it. I wasn't on the mic yet, so I didn't get a chance to clarify. Did you say the Ruben meetup game was canceled?
It was canceled.
Okay.
Yep,
then my follow-up question is, does that mean they canceled the pizza also?
I don't know. I'm assuming so. Otherwise, there'll be some happy gamblers at the Westgate arbitrarily eating pizza. So I can't answer that
I was thinking
question.
if there was still going to be pizza, I was thinking of coming in.
Oh, got it. Reach out to Ruben.
I will check with Ruben. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. I think Brian's trying to get back in here, but you remember he's been at the airport and I'm, trying to get home, all that stuff. So he may not be able to get any service right now, but it is okay. Again, Fats has pinned at the top of the page a link to an interview he did. And so if you're into that kind of thing or just want to support Fats, when we're finished here, please follow that link and check it out. I leave today, so I already have my bags picked up. My breakfast finally arrived. Yesterday's breakfast was delivered to the wrong room again, and but somehow they always bill the right room for my breakfast, but the breakfast never shows up. I'll never
Wait, I got to
understand
ask
it.
you a question
But it
about
did
that,
this
Sherry.
morning. Yes.
Are you sure from being out all night you even gone back to the right room? Maybe you're ordering it to the room you're in, but that's not your room or something like that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Was there any alcohol involved, Sherry?
Yeah, I mean,
No, Brian.
for somebody
Okay,
as
Brian,
organized
you've
as
been in
you,
Vegas.
Sherry, I find this hard to believe you can't order a meal.
There's some kind of conspiracy. We got to do an investigation here.
Please do. Please do. But Brian, how many times have you seen me drink alcohol?
Let me think. That would be the one, carry the one, divide by 16 to the third power. I think it comes out to 0, Sherry.
Yep.
I don't know. I
You
think
got it.
maybe
Very
Vegas
right.
might be a little too much for you, Sherry.
Roughly the same amount of times you've seen me drink alcohol.
I have not seen you drink, but I did see the day after you drank some
What?
alcohol.
When? No, you didn't.
At the tournament directors? Come on, at the TDA
no,
Summit?
I was like that because I was wasted from playing too much poker. I guarantee I hadn't I don't drink. I haven't drank in.
Well, all I know is you told us that you stayed out with the guys drinking the night before. That's what you told us. So I took you at your word.
I was on a flight one time, and I was like wanting to go to sleep, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. So I'm like, the lady's like, "Would you like a glass of wine or something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." And so then she came back a few minutes later, and she said, "Would you like after whatever, probably an hour later?" And then she's like, "Would you like another glass?" I'm like, no, that was my first one in 10 years, and I probably shouldn't have started again. And she's like, she thought I was some recovering alcoholic, even though it was literally my first in 10 years. So,
yeah, I don't mind drinking. It's just, I did all that when I was younger. So I will have, some alcohol from time to time, but yeah, very rarely. Raj, are you able to chat with us, bud?
he's playing the turbo satellite to the main that he won last year.
Playing the turbo. But I got to get back. I'm about to get a hand. So, but
all right, good luck, bud. Awesome.
This is the one he won last year, Sherry. So we're hoping that he gets into the main event for cheap, and we get going. So I am not going to play any poker until Saturday, most likely, and I am going to be on time for the main event. But listen, Sherry, here's a tip I'm going to give to everybody that's never played the main event before. Do not, whatever you do not listen to Snoop Dogg or Snoop Dogg on your AirPods on your way into the main event. Like, Snoop Dogg is banned because you get in there level 1 and you feel all gangster, and next thing you know, you got 15,000 chips, and you're like crying in your coffee or whatever you're drinking. I mean, it's just a sad thing. So Snoop Dogg has been banned from my headphones for over a decade. Since I almost actually went bust level 1. It was really sad that I had to wait. I was all in with pocket queens on the flop. And the other guy, he looks at me, he's like, "You must know what I have." And he flashes king, king. And I'm like, my God, I am going bust first level of the main event. And luckily we got the fold through and got onto the first break. So
Nice.
Do not go bust first level of the mains.
Great advice. And I see Zach's with us. Good luck, Zach, if you're playing today. I got a quick hug from him yesterday when he was in his mini main tournament. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you're still in or not. If you want to come up and tell us, or just put it in the chat. And while we wait for that, Brian, there's a message in the chat for you, bud.
Oh no. Oh no. Is this McCormick there? I have a it says
Bathwater for buying.
probable spam. Should I click this? Why is Real
Yes.
Fats spamming self-promotion that has nothing to do with poker or the WSOP in this space? Maybe Fats needs another bath. Ooh, well, that is possible. Fats, you're getting some hatchets over here. I don't know. Fats probably went to take a bath.
Well, we might have to throw Fats out with the bathwater.
Oh. Yeah, maybe kick him down to the listeners, Sherry. He's out of control.
Go ahead. You want to kick somebody? You do
I don't know how to kick somebody.
About time you learn. It's over a year you've been doing this.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I would never kick bathwater for buy-ins. I'm just too tickled by that account.
No.
Sorry, I was away from the mic. Did I hear somebody say fat something?
Yeah, you're getting some hatchets there, Fats.
I'm getting hatchets from where?
From Bathwater for buy-ins here.
Bathwater for buy-ins.
Yeah, he says I'm sorry. Savage says, why is Real Fat spamming self-promotion that has nothing to do with poker or the WSOP in this space? Maybe Fats needs another bath.
Wow, I don't even know what to say about that hatchet.
Yeah.
So weird. From that sweet old bathwater said that?
Yep.
They threw you a hatchet yesterday, too.
They threw one at me yesterday, too? What'd they say yesterday?
Yeah, because you were dogging my meetup space and saying it was horrible.
Well, I was the part of it was horrible. I was referring to the part that I was doing, not the part that you were doing. I was criticizing myself in that description. I thought for all the spaces I've run, that was about as bad of space as I've run or been a part of trying to run in all my space time. I wasn't picking on you.
I know you weren't, because you clarified that yesterday, but it was kind of just a fun troll. But I just wanted you to know that, we appreciate your efforts, and don't be so hard on yourself. Zach K has responded. He said, thanks for stopping by yesterday, firing the $800 independence at the WSOP today. So good luck to everyone. And thanks, Zach, for those kind words. And good luck to you, bud. Keep us updated, would you please?
Sherry, I got to go do some chores. I haven't been home in a month. I'm sure there's a honey-do list somewhere around here. And we've got a friggin' day of fun here in Southern California. So I will see you. Well, I guess I won't see you. You're leaving, right?
I am leaving today. So good luck, Brian, in the main event. But I will talk to you over the next few days, and enjoy your time at home,
I will
bud.
see you in the spaces, my friend.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, bud. All right. Maureen made a post for us. If any Space Cadets want to SATI into the main event, here is the list. So I'm going to put it in the Jumbotron so you can find the list of satellite, their main event landmark satellites taking place from July 2nd through July 7th. So I put that in the Jumbotron. And Maureen also posted a line update. She took a picture of the current line at the WSOP. At 9:20, there was nobody in line. So the lines are moving along, it looks like, folks. So there's some live updates from the WSOP. I'm going to go around the horn. If anybody has anything they'd like to bring up, now's the time before we sign off. So go ahead, Avi. I'll let you go first. Hey, Burrows. Long time no talk, bud.
Hey,
Are you,
sorry. I was on another app. Where should I go for the 4th of July fireworks?
just anywhere on the strip, somewhere down by Caesars.
Okay, so just
Just out
right
on the
where
strip.
I'm right now would be fine.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Because there's several hotels that do I don't know who's doing it this year, but several hotels go in on the fireworks together, so to speak. And so it's right above you. Like you just stand on the strip. I happened to find a place to sit on the strip, believe it or not, and just sat there and watched the awesome fireworks. So I'd highly recommend it for sure. And buddy, I see your message. If you scroll up to the top of this Twitter space, buddy, that's what we call the Jumbotron. You'll see I pinned Maureen's um, list of satellites into the main at the top there. So just scroll up in the space, and we call that area the Jumbotron because we can pin stuff up there for people to view. I don't know if that works if you're on a computer, though. Does anybody know that? Because I'm always on my phone. So I'm not sure if that'll work if you're on a computer. So that's where I'm at with that. Welcome, Burrows. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Sherry? What's going on, everybody? It's been a while. I was actually in Denver for like a week for a wedding. I just got back to South Carolina, so I
Nice.
missed a lot, but it's good to hear, everybody in here, and I hope everybody's doing well. If you're in Vegas or wherever you are.
Well, thank you, bud. I hope you had fun in Colorado. I bet the weather was nice, no humidity.
Yeah, it was so much cooler than it is down here in South Carolina right now. So yeah, I miss that.
Dude.
I've been a little upset that I'm not going to make it out to the WSOP this year. But while I was in Denver, I made my first ever hole in one playing golf.
Oh my God, that's
That's
amazing. Congratulations. What was the distance?
it was like it was 110. I'm not sure. It said it was 110 from our tees. We were so excited that we didn't like measure it out, but it was about 110 yards. It was downhill though. I hit
Was that 110 feet at putt putt?
Fats, you guys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, Fats. It was unbelievable that it went in the hole because we saw it like land and it like almost spun sideways and backwards in the hole and we all went crazy. It was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. That's your first one, eh?
Yep, first one.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations. That is amazing.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, you talk about the humidity down south, and I haven't been home since February. I've been in the dry Pacific Northwest and now in Vegas. So I know I'm in for a shocker when I get home tonight, and I'm not looking forward to that fucking humidity.
Yeah, I mean it's bad, but I was also staying in Golden, Denver, Colorado.
Right outside of Denver.
God, the place we were staying was over 8,000 feet above sea level, so it is good to have your normal oxygen back. Because even walking the little hills there, I was getting out of breath. It was rough. So
I hear you. Being asthmatic, I feel it anytime altitude changes, so I get it for sure. Well, congratulations on the hole in one. That just makes me smile from ear to ear. I'm so happy for you. Many people spend a lifetime trying to do just that. So good for you, Burrows. Very cool. All right. Any last words or topics to discuss? Fats.
Yeah. Hey, Burrow. In the Jumbotron is posted an interview I did on a Canadian podcast yesterday. And I don't have any plays today. There were no plays today with my guy, but I released the 11 plays that I made yesterday. I gave out on the podcast, which was just dropped today. So they were given out yesterday, but nobody would know it until today. But if you listen to it, you can see how I did yesterday.
So it's a cliffhanger. You're not going to tell us how you did?
I did talk about it on Omar's Space last night while the games were going on, but you'll have to listen to it and then get the games, and then you can check the scores and see how I did.
Because you have nothing else to do today, Burrows.
He never has anything to do.
Yeah, there's no way, Sherry, that he did bad if he's telling me this. It was 11 games.
I know that's right.
He had to go at least like 9-2 or 8-3 to be bragging like this. So, yeah, I'll check it out, Fats.
All right.
That's hilarious. All right, Donna, any thing you'd like to bring up? Comments? Topics?
No, just what time you're leaving?
I just got a notification my flight is delayed. So I have to reevaluate what time I'm going to leave. I'll probably leave my hotel directly at 11, which is checkout. Because, I'm one of those people that does well playing slots at the airport.
Yeah.
So,
well,
always try to have
when you do get there. And I hope it's not delayed too long. ASG wants to come up to speak, so I'll add him as a speaker.
Yeah, I just let him up. Go ahead, bud. Go ahead, ASG.
Yeah, did you talk about the Hall of Fame nominees?
Not to, what? Thank you for reminding me. I meant to put it on my list and forgot. So, yes. Go ahead. You want to say it?
So there were, the nominees for the Poker Hall of Fame came out. There were some surprises, I would say, that, as well as whatever. But so the nominees are Patrick Antonius, Josh Aryeh, Barney Boatman, Miami John, Ted Forrest, Kathy Liebert, Mike Mattisau, Matt Savage, Isai Scheinberg, and Bill Smith. And
And thank you for reading that list. And I know a lot of people are going, Bill who? Because that seems to be a topic of conversation. Just to forewarn you guys, the gentleman is passed away. So let's be respectful of the man's name. Also, go Miami John, go Matt Savage and Kathy Liebert and Mike the Mouth. And they're all great nominees. I'd like to say that I'm excited that a year of promoting Miami John got him on the ballot this year. And I'm not the only one, and you guys helped. And we're not the only ones that did it, but people jumped on the bandwagon after we started getting the word out. And then Miami John was in the background helping me get the word out to some of his big hitters, so to speak. And so collective effort, and I'm so excited. And yesterday I texted him and, to congratulate him for the nomination. And I actually ended up being the one breaking the news to him because he did not even know that he had been nominated and that the word was out. So we had a nice little exchange of text messages, and he thanked all of us for our support and helping get the word out. Because as he discussed in our interview, he felt that he wasn't getting nominated because he wasn't a big social media presence. And, and I think that plays part of it. So I'm excited for him that he's gotten the nod as far as being nominated. Fingers crossed he actually gets in this year. But there's so many deserving people, right? So go ahead, Burrows.
Yeah, I was going to say that's awesome for Miami John. And it's kind of funny. I was waiting, or I was actually on the airplane. And I just was reading back that blog that Ed Moan guy did, which I sometimes do, like on planes because I like it so much, with Alex, when Alex Powers stayed with him in 2005. And I forgot he had a whole like part of it where Miami John was playing like in a poker tournament and also on his phone betting like exactas and trifectas in a horse race while he was folding hands, which I thought was hilarious. That Miami John was playing in like a 10K buy-in, but also on the phone with like whoever his horse guy was betting on horse races while he was playing poker back then. So I just thought that was a funny story.
It is a funny story, and John he's a character for sure. And I heard somebody on a podcast. I started listening to a podcast yesterday, and I got sidetracked. So I have not. I have to say, I don't know the whole extent of the conversation. I just heard a bit of it, and the person was complaining or stating a fact that if these two players that become eligible due to age next year are not inducted right away, that it would be like, disgraceful. And, I put in a tweet somewhere yesterday, you might want to look up Miami John and why hasn't he been inducted? You know what I mean? And so there is arguments for a lot of different people to be inducted, but to say somebody deserves to be inducted as soon as they become eligible at age 40, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The jury's still out on that one for me because I know there's so many that have been. And, one of the things is the test of time, right? The test of time. And so you have somebody playing poker for 40 years and somebody playing poker for 15 or 20 years. Which one is the test of time? Both are. Both are, right? But there's also, you have to, put weight in the one that's been doing it 40 years and at 80 is still winning. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox about that, and I see Larry is requesting. I'm going to bring him up.
So yeah, while we're waiting for this is Mike
Yeah.
Mataso's 10th nomination, Matt Savage's 9th, 7 for Ted Forrest, 5 for Isai, 3 for Kathy Liebert and Josh Aryeh, 2nd for Patrick Antonia, and 1st for Miami John and Barney Bowman. And also of note, in terms of who didn't get nominated between last year and this year, last year Lon and Norm were nominated and they didn't get on the finalists list this year. And I think especially important is Jeremy Osmus, because it's all about like being hot at the right time, and I think he would have been in this year if he was a finalist because of how he's doing this year.
Right. Well, thank you for that update. I appreciate you, ASG. Go ahead, Larry.
So I had two things. One, first is just a little comment that poor Matt Savage is the Susan Lucci of the poker company.
He
And then,
certainly is.
why don't they let more than one person in per year? Like, has there been any conversation or discussion about modifying that to expand that a little bit so that we don't go through the same argument every year and we can put a couple of people in?
I think there's been lots of discussion about that. And I'm very hopeful that next year that may come to fruition.
Yeah, it's up to some random guy at Caesars.
Yeah.
Is that, are you serious? Is it really up to some random guy at Caesars? Like, who decides that? Got to be some board right at the Hall of Fame, Poker Hall of Fame. They've got some bylaws or something, right?
The Poker Hall of Fame is owned by Caesars. So,
and let's not forget there are some players that have big voices. And that's why some people think that they've never been given the nod or the induction because they're not in the right with that person. So, or people. So there's a lot of politics involved, unfortunately, from what I understand. But
you would think the WSOP would organize something like some of the other professional sports do, like a voting system or something like that, right? How hard could that be?
There is a voting system, but not like they've decided, whoever the person or committee is at Caesars have decided the past few years to only let one person in, and then all the previous winner or inductees get to vote on who that one is. So like
Right.
next year, whoever doesn't get a this likely. So next year, Scott Seaver and Nick Schulman will be 40. So it's likely going to be one of them, and then the other one's still remaining for the following. Or the backlog will just keep getting worse.
I guess
Well, and they really need to make a slot for an industry person, right? And I think that should be a slot that's given away every other year. It doesn't even have to be every year. Every other year would, I think, be enough times. But at this point, it should be no less than 2 inductions every year.
I guess the problem is there's no real organization that oversees the different poker entities, right? Like there's the WSOP, the EPT, the WPT. There's, the list goes on and on, but there's no organization sort of oversees or in any way, shape, or form that all of those groups or entities collectively to sort of then those are the guys that should run the Hall of Fame or decide, right? I wonder if there's
No, they do. It is. WSOP is over all
over
of
the
that.
WPT.
Oh yeah. Oh, not. Oh, no, I was talking about the EP, not EPT. I'm sorry. They're over all of the like the EWSOP, all of the WSOPs around the world, it is the WSOP Hall of Fame, right?
No,
it's
not the
WSOP Hall of
WSOP.
Fame.
No, it's the.
But that's
no, it's not the WSOP Hall of Fame. It's the Poker Hall of Fame.
Let me finish my statement. Though it's being run, it is as though it is the WSOP, right?
No,
is my point.
No, because the poker, it's all of the poker people. It has nothing, like, in terms of who gets inducted, like, you have everybody from, who have won all these different things. Some
You're
or
missing,
just big
you're
on
missing
cash
my
games.
point. You're missing my point, ASG. I'm saying that they are the ones that really have the say.
But they're not.
But they do. But they do. Now, granted, we all can hand in nominations, right? And then those voting members, which are those members of the Hall of Fame still alive, are the voting members, and they vote on the nominations to make the list. And then once that list is comprised, they will vote on who their pick is for that list.
Incorrect. It's a popular vote to come up with the list of finalists, which is what this list is the general public picking this list. And then the Hall of Fame members pick who gets inducted, who's the one person.
Is a popularity contest, and then that.
There you go.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm asking. I'm not.
There you go. No, I'm
trying to
just
understand.
You're hitting.
So then,
the popularity
contest
to determine the fall of everybody to determine the finalists. And it's a popularity contest of the winner of the people who are already in the Hall of Fame to determine who gets in.
Yeah. Which I don't disagree with that system of voting. The previous inductees get to vote on who gets in. That works for me, knee jerk.
Well, that is better than when they had the poker media voting.
Well, yeah, didn't we? I remember voting before. I must have missed it this year or something.
That's better than the poker. Yeah, I will always be for those those that are inducted being the voting voices over the poker media.
Hey, maybe we should write a proposal.
Really? I mean, the media is why Chris Moneymaker's in the Hall of Fame. And then,
you think?
No, it is. That there was then an uproar, and that's why they lost their vote, is because the players didn't like Chris Moneymaker getting inducted, and the media is why.
Well, under that, then Mattisal is never going to get in, right? Under those rules.
well, under the one per year and whatever. Like he's never going to be the top of the list for sure.
Yeah. I would really support them in adding additional people with inductees. I couldn't think of the word inductees every year to make it so it's not just one person. They should at least do one male, one female, and somebody from the ancillary services stuff, the outside the tables, the people like Matt Savage and such. But there's no one to really organize all that, I guess, apparently. So
I think they should change the voting and let the voting be done by the poker spaces people.
I think they should add a public vote, personally, as maybe like counts toward 20% or something. Like we can all vote. Now we have the nominations, and we should be able to all vote for our picks, and that count like maybe 20% of the weight of the overall voting.
Who pays for all that, though? And I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just trying to sort of discuss this out loud.
I'm going to read something to you. The Poker Hall of Fame, established in 1979, was acquired by Harrah's Entertainment, along with the World Series of Poker in 2004. Through the Hall of Fame, though the Hall of Fame is virtually in nature, its membership includes poker's most influential players and other important contributors to the game. The Poker Hall of Fame traditionally elects one or two members annually. The enshrinement ceremony is now held in concert with the Poker Hall of Fame Bounty No Limit Hold'em event at the WSOP Las Vegas.
Let me ask you a question, Sherry. If they were to organize this and said, you can become a member of the National Poker Association of America, or whatever the hell they call it, and you're a member of that, and for $25 a year, we'll send you a little newsletter once a month and let you know what's going on and blah, 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 blah. And they use that membership money to then organize this kind of stuff.
Well, I'm just going to tell you personally, I think the Hall of Fame should become its own entity and become a nonprofit and be not associated with no Harrah's, MGM, nobody. It should just be a standalone, independent
where do they get the money?
Organization.
Where does the money come from?
It would have to be fundraising, right? So you would have to have somebody, maybe do a founders foundation, what do you call it? A founders.
Well, what about like a founders, like a membership thing?
Like a founders, drive, like a drive, a founders drive. X of dollars, you become a founder of the Poker Hall of Fame. It's going to go to become a nonprofit, and then it's run with a board, and then it's run by bylaws that are put in place so that it's fair voting, it's fair nominations, whatever.
You'd want to offer membership. You'd want to offer membership, though, to keep dollars flowing in, because donations are good, but you can't count on them long haul. So
no, that's just to start it, and then you can have, there's lots of ways, I've been on a national board of a philanthropic for many years, and there's ways to raise money. And so you get the seed money by having a founders drive, and then it becomes totally independent. You don't have big voices influencing those that are in control, and it's just totally a fair situation. So that's kind of where I am with that, because when you hear certain big name players talk about it, there's no doubt in my mind that they have an influence. So anyway, go ahead, Burroughs.
Hey, I just have 3 quick points. One is that famous night when D. Niggs and Ian got into it. They were actually discussing like how kind of a media like Savage person should be inducted like every 3 years or something. But Yeah, they were having a good combo, but kind of Ian derailed that. But that seems like a good idea to have just one person that was a player and then a media person kind of every 2 or 3 years.
Or just an industry person. It doesn't even have to be media, just an industry
yeah.
person.
Well, is that what you consider Savage? I don't even know if he's media or what you would consider.
Yeah, he would be an industry person.
Yeah, okay. Industry. Second, I was thinking, is there an actual physical Hall of Fame for people to go visit? Where is this displayed at? I'm honestly unsure.
Okay, so at the Horseshoe, and I want to say that it's inside their normal poker room. I want to say it's in there, but I could be wrong. They do have like a poker Hall of Fame wall.
Yeah, that's what
I just
I'm
haven't
saying.
it in my mind. It's in their normal poker room.
Does anybody know? Because that's kind of odd that nobody even knows exactly where this Hall of Fame is and where they can go see it. I feel like that needs to be figured out. You know.
I want to say that it's inside normal poker room. I could be wrong, but it is in the Horseshoe for sure. I just want to address you, Daniel. I'll argue with whoever I want to argue with. So have a great day, bud. And you're missing the point as well. My point was what? Have a great day, Daniel. So moving right along, and I see Frank joined us. Fuck you, Frank. I said that earlier. You weren't here, so I wanted you to hear it from my own mouth. And you know what? Oh, that's funny. Just messing with Frank. Don't anybody get their shorts in a wad. Yeah, I can't remember where that Hall of Fame wall is, but for some reason I think it's in their poker room, Burroughs. And I want to say did that last year. Like they created the wall last year, I want to say.
So
I could be making that up.
yeah, that's but what I'm saying is like all of us, which everyone in here, I think is a fan of poker or a troll. Like it feels like we should know that, right? Or there should be something concrete where hey, we can actually go see this. You know,
Well,
I
and
don't.
I'm going to tell you, I could not agree with you more. And I think for me, part of wanting to make it its own entity and taking it out of the control of any one operator is that we could actually do a standalone, you know, storefront or building or or maybe at the mob museum they would give us a place to make to have a section of the poker hall of fame there, or you know what I'm saying. So for me that would be like a natural step by it becoming its own entity. Then you have to find a home for it, and you know and just make it something that it is, something special and something people can do. And maybe some of the players would donate items of interest, and it could be sort of like a poker hall of fame museum, right? And maybe some of the families of poker players that are no longer with us would be willing to donate some items that they would love to see live on and the legacy of their player live on at that Poker Hall of Fame museum. For me, I kind of think big and think of how it could evolve into something really special, because I think the Hall of Fame is special and it should be something can visit, touch, and learn from and share the history from and honor the people that are in it. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Go ahead, Frank.
No,
Fuck
but
you.
I just want to say I totally agree with you. My
Sure.
last point, real quick, is Frank got his hand up. That we don't need any people like Real Fats on the board. He's already on the board in the Gamblers Hall of Fame. He can't do simple math. Love you, Fats.
They never get anything decided. Nothing would ever be
never avoid a
decided.
hatchet.
Frank's go ahead, Frank. Fuck you, by the way.
Good morning, Donna, Larry, Burrow, ASG. How you guys doing? And Cherry. No, you guys are behind. I already had this conversation 2 weeks ago with McCormick. I said the same thing. I asked him if there was an actual Hall of Fame that you could go to, and he kind of thought about
Okay,
it.
well, I'm just going to tell you you're far behind because we had this conversation last summer. But go ahead.
Okay, well, I agree. I mean, why doesn't Caesars have a room and charge admission and make it an exhibition? And they could have memorabilia, they could have a lot more people in it, or a standalone building like you guys were saying. It totally makes sense, like a real, like the Baseball Hall of Fame or Football Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
I'm sure
Exactly.
Bill Perkins and what's the other guy that always put, there's a bunch of people that would donate money if there was a foundation, but they could also charge admission and, make it really cool. Yeah, I totally agree.
Let's
And
open up.
it's even people like
I just
McCormick.
can't imagine.
Let's start a
I'm sorry.
401c3. Let's get it rolling. Come on, let's just fucking do it instead of talking about it for 2 summers in a row. Apparently now.
The hell is a
Well,
401c?
the first stumbling block I see is getting the control of it from Caesar's. I can't imagine them be willing to give up the control. And if they were going to, they would probably want to sell it off, right? Because they're in business. So I think that's the biggest stumbling block when I think about the whole picture is, yeah, I could approach them and say, hey, let's do this. What do you think? And, their eyes going to turn into dollar bill signs and they're going to be like, well, we got to get something out of this. We've been holding the bag on this since 2000. What did I say? Whatever.
How do you place a valuation on something like that? They're not making money off of it other than, I mean, it's a trickle down. Maybe they're making money off of it from the name connected to them sort of thing. But aside from that, it's not like they're pulling in direct revenue from managing that or organizing that.
Well, I don't
What would it be worth?
disagree, but do you think they would just give it? Do you
No,
think they would just
I
give
agree
it
with
away?
everything you
Honestly.
said. I'm just wondering, what could they possibly think it's worth in a dollars and cents aspect? Like, how much? Let's say we were willing to do that and pay for it. How much do you think they? I mean, I know it's a rhetorical question. We've never.
I I don't even think I can think of a number, honestly, and I say that because um,
How could you even put a valuation on something like that? How would you even
I
figure it
guess
out?
I don't know. I think you would just have to. It'd have to be a good sized bone to throw them. Is all I got to say, and they have. I say they are the Poker Hall of Fame, and they have control over it. They do. They own it, and it is what it is.
Name recognition, branding, or
Frank.
something. Offer them that instead of money. We'll use your name and brand you with everything as part of it. Make them a partner on paper only.
Right. And they may go for that they still have, their name tied to it somehow, but no controlling interest, right? No voting block, no nothing, because everybody's got to have even playing field. This isn't, it has to be an even playing field. It has to be fair. It has to be transparent. It has to be without any black clouds of doubt. That's the only way you win over the public. So anyway, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I was going to say, so even when I asked Sean, he kind of like thought about it and then he was like, yeah, it's like a wall, over. And like he was kind of like had to think about it. And I think until the top people start taking it serious and get together on it, that's who has to kind of get it going. But it would be great because that's how you grow the game. People can bring their kids and it legitimizes poker and it you pass it down through your family, which would be cool.
Well, and I also think of those families that have memorabilia and okay, maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years has passed since your player has passed away. Like, what are you doing with that stuff? And to be able to share it with others who have passion that your player had before they passed away, I think is a lovely tribute to their legacy, and their memory lives on. And for the rest of us, we live on. We learn from that history. We have the opportunity to celebrate that player, and look at their memorabilia in a museum setting, so to speak. And so I just think it would be a win for poker, for the industry, for the families involved, um,
For the
as well
families
as
that are coming
just the
too.
process.
I mean, even
Yeah,
when you walk into a
absolutely.
Hard Rock casino and
Absolutely.
you see that memorabilia, it's like super cool, and yeah, I think it would be great. You could bring your kids, they could see things. And then you don't have to have like so much, oh, this person made the Hall of Fame. You could just have a section that's like these were the online people that made poker big online. You know what I mean? You could have sections that
No,
had really,
100%.
No, but that when
tributes.
And you look at it this way, we have the WSOP camp every summer. I think, if my memory serves me correctly, there was a half million people attend the WSOP last summer. Um, and guess what? Even if a third of those went to the Hall of Fame Museum during the summer, I mean,
so when I was
how could that not
when I was at
work?
the Dead Show in May, they at the Sphere, they had this sort of just what you're describing, this little museum, little mini museum set up. And they had all these pictures and guitars and all kinds of tapes and stuff from all the Grateful Dead's history back from the late 60s up until today. And that place was packed. It was the busiest section of the whole thing, other than the concert itself. There were people in there. We were in there for 2 hours looking at stuff. It was free. It was great, but it was nice that they did it. So I agree. It would draw a crowd.
I love the idea. Um, maybe in my lifetime it'll come to fruition. I have spoken to several people about it to put bugs in ears, and that's all I can do. That and much like Miami John getting a nomination this year, many of you didn't even know who he was when I brought him up last year. But all I can do is put the information out there, and hope that it gravitates to something positive in the end. So, go ahead, Fats.
Two things. By the way, those final tables I was talking about yesterday, Miami John was loitering at my first final table in the Raz, the one where I finished third. He was loitering around at that table. And
Nice.
second of all, did you see? I was kind of like dozing off a little bit here. Did I hear you say that they should move the Poker Hall of Fame to the win?
I'm going to tell you something. I would prefer it wasn't in a casino, although I think that would probably be the easiest transition, because I don't want it to be identified as being owned by that operator. I think it needs to be in a standalone, or like I said, at the Mob Museum, or I don't even know any other museums in Vegas. But anyway, like it had to be a standalone, stand by itself storefront, or involved with some other museum, and have like an area, a section, a wing, I don't know, just for the Poker Hall of Fame, just because I don't want it to be known as the Wins Poker Hall of Fame, Caesar Poker Hall of Fame. I think it needs to be a standalone,
Well,
no association.
the Sports Gambling Hall of Fame, we have Circa Sportsbook created a Hall of Fame room right in their sports book, but it's still the Sports Gambling Hall of Fame. It's not the Circa Hall of Fame or something like that. So we still have our own, basic name to it, and it's our Hall of Fame. They just gave us a place to, to put it, and it's an appropriate place right in that sports book there. But I think it needs to be in a place where the poker players are going to be going through in droves, and really where the World Series is being held is really kind of the place it should be, because you got the tourist poker players, the playing poker players, the actual Hall of Fame poker players. I mean, you're all in that one area, so it should be in a place. I mean, that is where it should be. It just should be, better organized with their rules and regulations.
Well, and
would be good to sort of
I appreciate your comments. Go ahead, Larry.
I was going to say that those guys have sort of already walked through the snow. So if the poker people ever got this off the ground, Fats's organization would be going to sort of take a look at and maybe mirror how they did it, use it as a template to sort of a starting place, right? On how to stay connected but be disconnected simultaneously, right?
Go ahead, Merv. Welcome. Merv, are you there?
Is that Matrix Merv?
Microphone.
Yeah, I don't see him as
am I in or out of the Matrix today?
Well, you sound good right now.
But from here forward, you'll still be known as Matrix Merv.
I just heard the end of that, Fats. Can you refresh me on the start?
It was a joke.
It's not worth it, Merv.
Did you have any comments?
No, fair enough, Larry. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can hear you. That's one of the main points. Hopefully Sherry can hear me or I can hear Sherry, so that otherwise I'll dip out.
Can you hear me, Merv?
Yeah, I can't hear Sherry. I'm going to dip out and come straight back.
Okay. I didn't think he could. Okay. Bummer. He'll be right back, I'm sure.
Merv sounds like he's actually in Australia when he's here. With that connection.
I got a kick out of him wearing that green shirt he has on profile picture so we can identify him when we see him in person. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's a must. That was like a big must, that shirt.
It's so fun. Merv, let's try it again, bud. Go ahead.
Check, 1, 2, 2. Check, 1, 2, 2.
Can you hear me, Merv?
I can hear you, Sherry.
Perfect. Go ahead. Do you have any comments?
Great. Well, I've been listening to the Hall of Fame discussion for a bit. It helped me kind of wake up. I think that if you've got it at the moment, they may as well just call it the WSOP Hall of Fame, because that's basically who owns it. If we're not mistaken, we've got the Caesars. They may as well put it on property somewhere. The only place to put it, it's not the Rio anymore. If they put it in the Rio before, no one would see it ever again, because who's going to travel to the Rio? I mean, lots of people would, but instead stick it in the Horseshoe where the actual WSOP is on. Every year, you've got a WSOP Hall of Fame in the Horseshoe, then everyone's going to go. And if you have trouble sort of raising funds for it, charge $1 to get in. Like, who's not going to pay $1 to go and see the Poker Hall of Fame? You're going to raise some.
Merv, let me ask you this question.
So would you kick out everybody not associated with the WSOP?
Well, no, but
Merv.
Sorry, 2 questions there, ASG. I'll come back. Sherry, yeah?
No, go ahead, finish, but go ahead.
No, just ASG's point, kicking out everyone. No, they would just have to take, admittedly take the thing, okay, there's some non-WSOP people in there, so it would be lightly branded the WSOP. If they were going to sell it, they could keep it called, they could make that one of the conditions of selling it, is that we sell this as the WSOP Hall of Fame, if that was ever going to be a possibility. But no, I wouldn't take out anyone that's not there. I would just let them actually take admittance that it's really a WSOP-based thing. Does that make sense, ASG?
I just completely disagree that it is a WSOP-based thing. I think
okay. I thought that's what everyone was arguing, was that it's, if Matt Savage can't get in, then it's got to be a WSOP thing. I thought that's the genuine thing.
No.
I could be mistaken.
My point is, because they own it, it's slanted. Things are slanted. That's my point. It's the WSOP Hall of Fame, but because they own it, it is a slanted. There's been complaints for years about the process, about people not believe in the voting, blah blah blah. It's not news. But I'm going to ask you, Merv, do you know where the Hall of Fame is currently?
The Poker Hall of Fame in Las Vegas. I know there's
Yes, the poker.
well, this I
Go
found.
ahead.
I think I found this amusing was that I found myself around the back of the horseshoe in their actual local room, and there's a wall, and on the wall it's got like champions, something like that. And there's only one picture. I didn't know who it was, but I thought, oh, is this the Poker Hall of Fame? Obviously, it's not. My guess, my stab would be at Binion's. There's a little
Okay.
a little sort of a thing. There's also $1 million table with or there used to be when I was there last time. A
Right.
table with $1 million on it. You can stand next to it and go, "Yep, that's me. I'm going to be winning this $1 million of
Right.
cash." And lots of plaques along the wall. I think it's near their regular poker room. Is that? Am I somewhere? But is that right?
Okay. So, my point is, it's already at the horseshoe, and they're not doing a good job with it because Merv here has seen it and didn't even know it was it. It is in the horseshoe, and it is a wall, and that's it. And my point is, we deserve better than that. The Hall of Fame deserves better than that. And they're already in control of it and not doing better by it. And so I don't think it should be at the horseshoe personally, unless it is a separate entity, a foundation, a standalone, you know, and it still would be my last choice to have it within an operator's building, just for aesthetics, I guess you want to say. Full disclosure, I would prefer it would not be in an operator building, although I stated earlier, it would be understandable if it ended up in one because of the nature of the business, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, then it ends up being in an operator's building. But it's got to be its own, in my opinion, for whatever the fuck that's worth. It needs to be a standalone entity, be a foundation with bylaws in place, with, ramping of the voting, of the nomination process, and even, of course, as we started this conversation, the amount of people that get inducted every year. So that's where I'm at. So go ahead, people. Talk amongst
I don't
yourselves.
think the horseshoe is an operator anymore.
How do you mean? Don't they? If WSOP kind of owns it or seizes owns it.
Anybody that has a poker room is an operator. I'm not sure of your point, ASG.
No, we're talking about the Binion's Horseshoe downtown, right?
No.
No, because when
I'm
you were
talking about
because when Merv was talking about the $1 million, that's where that is. So I thought you were talking about.
But he started that conversation with telling us that he saw the horseshoe, the wall of fame in the horseshoe, and then he said you at the other Binions that they had the wall with the plaques and stuff on it.
So you're telling me that wall I saw, Sherry, was actually meant to be the Hall of Fame? I didn't even go up close to look at the photos because it didn't look like a Hall of Fame to me. It looked like a who won last month's poker tournament leaderboard at the local horseshoe game. Okay, well that's interesting. I'm going to go have another look.
I mean, as the website now says, the Hall of Fame currently is virtual. Like there is no Hall of Fame physical location.
But if you were with us in the spaces last year when they announced that they were making that wall to represent the Poker Hall of Fame. So you see, even this information is jacked up, right? Because we can't even have clarity of where is the Hall of Fame. Is it still at the old horseshoe, the new horseshoe? Is it a wall or isn't it? I mean, this is another prime example why it needs to be its own entity because it deserves better. We deserve better. And guess what? Being inducted to the Hall of Fame, we all know is such an honor. And we need to, have its place. It needs its own place. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Go ahead, Burroughs.
No, I just want to say that what Merv just said is exactly the biggest indictment on it. He saw it and had no idea that it was the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's terrible. Like, there's no
Actually,
way
my
that. Yeah, no, that. I mean, Merv, I'm appreciate you saying that, but that just, I mean, you couldn't have made a bigger indictment on it. If
I
it
mean,
means something, somebody that sees it is going to know it's the Hall of Fame.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I was in the sort of mood that I was heading home, and I was probably lost, and found myself at that end of the casino, and kind of went, I don't think I'm meant to be in this area. I haven't been here before. Had a look up, saw a wall, and thought, no, I haven't seen that wall before. I must be down the other end of the casino. That, just to be
if
fair.
if I have some time before I leave, I'll try to get down there and take pictures so
Yeah.
that I can post them for everybody to see, because I haven't even seen
I
it,
was about
so
to say
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing.
And that's
I'm going across there
yeah,
this
and
morning, so yeah, well.
okay, that'd be great if you could do that, and I'll try to too. Like I said earlier, it was either in that poker room or down hallway somewhere. I really didn't remember where it was, and that's a shame too, because I do a lot of spaces where we're trying to give out information, right? And here I'm like going, wait, where is it again? And everybody should know the answer to that question. All poker players that have been for a while be able to answer that damn question. Where is the Poker Hall of Fame? And that just proves the point to me that we need to do different. We need to do it differently, and it deserves an upgrade, and it deserves it, to be its own entity. So go ahead, Burroughs.
Well, yeah, I'll be real quick. Frank had his hand up, but
Oh,
it's
I didn't
just
see
crazy.
it. Sorry, Frank.
They have those giant WSOP main event championship banners, and most people can see that and identify with that, and not. I mean, I think being in the Poker Hall of Fame should be a bigger deal than winning one main event. Winning main event's a big deal, but it should at least be on
Right.
the same level. And the fact that most people can say, "Hey, I can walk into this room and see the main event banners," but don't know where the Poker Hall of Fame is when they see it is ridiculous. That's all. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Frank.
I agree. Sorry, Frank. I didn't see your hand, but I'm trying to get ready to leave, so I'm not scrolling.
I hear
Sorry.
you. Yeah, me too. Did you do a 25K fantasy update? Who's Team Dinkers?
Dude, I haven't done an update on that, and I thought when I get home we're gonna have to hit the ground running on that. Team who, love?
Dinkers is in first by a lot.
Dinkers. Isn't that Modfather? Hold on. I'll look. I want to say that's Modfather off the top of my
They have a
head.
pretty big lead. They have a good team.
Oh, dang. My team sucks. Where's the coffee drinkers or breakers or whatever the hell
Yeah,
the
mine
name of my
went from
team
like
is?
fourth or third to like 14th.
Oh my God, the Dinkers. Let's see. Yep, Modfather. Who's in second place, Frank?
Second place would be Sternheimer.
Okay, Sternheimer is ACP.
Okay, then Baker, Nori, but it pretty much falls off. Everyone's kind of like around 700, 600, 500, and then Dinkers is 1,045.
Oh shit. Modfather's got lucky again.
He knows his horses.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team. Well, he didn't know anything. It was randomly drawn. But
Oh, was it? Okay, fair enough.
Well, he deserves it. He's everybody's good buddy.
yeah, the Dinkers bought Robert Mizrahi for $1, and he has 210 points and is leading their team.
Damn it! Why didn't I randomly pick the Dinkers? Come on. Where are the coffee breakers? Come on, tell me where I'm at. Am I at the bottom or what?
What do you mean? I'm drinking coffee.
15th.
Me too.
Yeah, pretty close to the bottom. And I got some really big crushers on my team, so you just never know, do you?
Do you watch Solve for Why or listen to Solve for Why or Only Friends podcast, Sherry?
I do, but I have not in probably 2 or 3 weeks because I've just been so flippin'
If you're on the
busy.
plane, maybe you should go back and listen to, I think it's yesterday's. They had a pretty long discussion about Player of the Year. They're about as confused as we are with this Hall of Fame thing because what's his name that's in second? Who's in second right now?
Osmus.
Yeah, Osmus has so much more actual cashes, like money earned, than Seaver. So it's like they kind of go back and forth discussing the whole thing, but it's pretty interesting.
I will listen to that because we have been voicing our opinion about that since Brian came in 12th in that beginning tournament because we noticed the points being assigned and blah blah blah, and Seaver's got 3 bracelets, and how do you not recognize that as a Player of the Year? And Osmus has millions of dollars in winnings versus I think Seaver's in the hundreds of thousands in winnings. I could be wrong. And so I get the argument there. There's a lot to look at there, and they need to retweak it again for next year for sure. But I don't know. The Covenant gold bracelet. We put so much weight into the gold bracelets. How do you not recognize somebody winning 3 gold bracelets as the Player of the Year? I cannot recognize that person as the Player of the Year.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
They also
and
told
Osmus. Sorry.
They also told one other funny story, which I was unaware of, but you guys probably are. About a year that Negreanu got points taken away from him, and then I guess some guy named Robert Campbell or something won it. And when they called to
that's
tell
what
him that
started the whole beef with Norman Chad and Daniel Negreanu.
Oh, it is. And when they called the guy to tell him, he was like, "Yeah, I don't care."
Yeah, they counted D-Nix twice or something, so he got points deducted. And then Norman Chad tried to claim that D-Negs knew about it and just didn't tell anybody, or at least that's how D-Negs took it, and that started the whole beef between them.
Yeah, because D-Negs always kept track and a running total, and he always talked about those points. And so Norman's point of view was how did you not know? So it was really a heated discussion.
And the guy that ended up winning, Robert Campbell, was an Aussie, so I didn't mind too much about the recount at all. So it was good to have an Aussie win the Player of the Year.
So yeah, Osmus, he's doing well money wise because he final tabled a bunch of high rollers, but a whole bunch of his events that he final tabled are under 200 people. So that's Brian's argument is that what does he like to say? Less people than in his own home game or something. I'm trying to remember Brian's
exactly.
They just make it about how much money's earned. I guess that's not fair because you could get in. Some people can't afford a $100,000 entry fee, right?
Also, the main event was shoot to the top.
Exactly, and then you have how do you deny? I just go back to Seaver. How do you deny somebody who's won 3 slits? Just like last year, was it Deeb that ended up in second place because a guy was crushing it online? Was that fair? Go ahead, Merv.
Oh yeah, just the the algorithms and the formulas to work out number of points per tournament is always going to be a thing that can be tweaked. When you see anomalies like this, like 3 bracelets, how can it be close? Okay, yes, the guys won lots of cashes, but when the bracelet is the main thing, there's got to be some kind of. I thought there was some kind of bonus because it seemed like everyone that was winning it was winning at least 1 bracelet, maybe 2. So I thought maybe there is some sort of extra boost for winning the actual bracelet, getting first rather than second. But maybe.
Well, and I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, so I think that they're taking number of entries into the tournament as well as the buy-in amount to the tournament.
Yeah.
To formulate the points. Am I right, you guys?
Well, they're definitely taking the total amount of the prize pool. I don't know about the buy-in amount, but the total amount of the prize pool.
Okay.
And
well, that's
then,
fair.
Okay.
yeah.
Because it's not just, it
Okay.
could be $1,000 buy-in, but some guy shoots 6 bullets or something. That's down to the prize pool. That's not how many entrants. So I agree with that. That's a good start.
Right. And like Brian's point is, he had to battle through 4,000 some people to end up in 12th place, and he barely got any points. And then there's people that are battling through 80 entries, and they're, because it's I don't know, I'm just giving an example. It could be the wrong tournament, but they're paying 50 grand or 25K to play that tournament, but they only have 80 opponents, and they win the tournament and get tons of points. So the prize pool is built on that entry fee, right? So, so it's going to need to be tweaked next year for sure. Software, Brian, your first name is software. Devise a program, dude. Go ahead, Burroughs.
Yeah, I didn't even know Osmus was being considered over a guy who won 3 bracelets, but I posted up top my reason for not having Osmus, and that I backed him once and he busted and didn't make me any money. So I think the guy with 3 bracelets should definitely win over him. That's all.
Frank, did you hear the part they said about Phil Hellmuth those 2 years?
No, I missed that.
So they said 2 years in a row, Phil Hellmuth had the lead for Player of the Year going into the main event and lost.
Oh,
1 year it was Merson and who finished first, and then the other year was when Ben Lamb finished, what was it, 3rd or 4th or whatever.
sorry, my mic was off. Didn't they say Helmuth flew to Europe and won something, and then it swung back the other way again?
Oh, maybe that was a different year. I didn't hear about that, but I just know they said like Ben Lamb, won barely playing at all, and Helmuth had a bunch of seconds, and Ben Lamb took it by coming in 3rd or whatever in the main that year, and then Merson literally had to win the main in order to get Player of the Year, and he did.
Right. That was yesterday's podcast was really full of tons of good information.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Sherry's doing her best Snoop interpretation from the shower.
I am trying to get my purse packed with my cords and all that stuff, my notes from today's space, so I can get out the door. As you know, it's almost 11 o'clock, and
You take notes?
we don't. Oh my God. Have you not seen pictures of my notes? I posted them one day last week. I don't take notes, I make notes. So, do you think I have all this shit memorized as far as the winners and dollars amounts? Come on.
I mean, I was impressed, I have to admit, but it makes sense now.
I mean, yeah, if it weren't for ASG talking about the Poker Hall of Fame, this would have been over 45 minutes ago. So good job,
No,
ASG.
it's great.
Great.
Great comments.
No, yeah. I thought it was, exactly. That's what I said. Great job. But
Yeah,
Merv's
great
got his
stuff.
hand up.
Go ahead, Merv.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to get in before we finish up. I want to send a great big shout out and send some fire over to Big Brain Brad, one of the Spaces OGs. He's got a one study into the seat, into the main event. He's playing today, day 1A. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, Sherry, or if you mentioned anyone else that was playing the day 1A today. I'd be curious to hear that. But yeah.
We did not mention anyone. Brian talked about himself entering on Saturday. I know you are right. Brad is entering today. I don't know anyone else. When is Slay entering? Anybody know?
I haven't heard of a sleigh day yet. Also, hopefully going to have a Ruben day. We might have a Raja day, hopefully. Who else might be in it? And
was going to
also,
say,
we have one other person. Sorry, SCM. We
There's
have
somebody else. I know
there is
Karen's trying to Sally in too. I don't know if she's been able to, but I know she's working on it
Karen
too.
was, yep. And also we have a new entrant now, Jim Reed from Ref Poker. He's actually decided last night. I was here. I heard the news
Yep.
break live because I was literally in the bed next to him. That he's considering. He's had a few people asked, and he's going to
Yep, he's
try and
looking
see if
for
he can get.
stakers.
Yeah,
If anybody's interested, he's looking for stakers for sure.
yeah.
And also, Avi is going to be trying to saddle light into the main online. So,
Yeah, do you guys know what's up with Bobby? That was one of the first tweets I saw on this app when I just got off the plane. Is Bobby asking about it? I know I paid him for 5% a while ago. So, I mean, if he's not playing, I guess I'd be looking to put that 5% on somebody else. Does anybody know if Bobby's playing for sure or no?
I'll check on
the
Bobby.
main event?
He
Yeah.
I think after he busted the Colossus, he seemed in reasonably good shape when I saw him. But I'll try and check up for you, Burrows. Did he send a tweet?
Yeah, he put a tweet. Let me hear. I could post it up top. It was one of the first tweets I saw.
I
When I
thought he
got
was
off the
going to
plane.
play. I think the last time I was near him and he was talking about it, he said he was playing it. Let me.
Yeah, because like when I bought a piece of his
Yeah, but the
package,
main's
but I also
separate. He
like
separated the main out. He
no,
said that from the very beginning that he got this package, but then the main was
but
separate,
when
and he was going to. What this is what my understanding is that he was going to let the people who staked him for the main package have first dibs on staking him for the main. But I haven't heard anything about it other than that and the tweet he put out this morning, the feeler tweet he put out this morning.
yeah. Well, no, I had 5% in the main last year, and then we discussed. He was like, "Yeah, you're my first 5% this year." And when I sent him money for the part of the package I bought him for, I also sent him another bid for the 5% of the main. Is what I'm saying. And he said, he was like, "Cool." I was like, "Yeah, I'll send you whatever percent for the package, and then 5% for the main."
Yeah, you got a
So
separate thing with
he
him.
definitely,
It's separate.
yeah. I'm just saying I already prepaid for that. I just didn't know that he was even considering not playing the main until I just got off a plane. I've been out of town for a week though in Denver, so I'm just getting back on here.
Gotcha.
I think he got a bit of
No worries.
confidence from playing the Colossus into day 2, so I think that might have just been the deciding point that may have tipped him over into deciding he wants to play. I think if he bricked the Colossus, I think he just might have been thinking mindset wise, may not have been a good idea to join the main, but I know that Colossus gave him a bit of a bump, and that's exactly what he needs to get his head back into. I can do this. And
so
let's
anybody wanting to stake Bobby, reach out to him. He's looking for stakers. Definitely reach out to him in the DM. That's the only people I know. I can't think of anybody else. Can any of you?
Just thought I'd say, if anyone is thinking of a day to play, talking to Jim about what day he would play, and he said the 1C, because that way you get the next day off. You play day 2, and then you get the next day off. So I think that's
right.
There's a good incentive to play that.
Wait, isn't there? There's not 2 day 2s.
There is 2 day 2s.
So wouldn't you get 2 days off?
No, because 1A, 1B, 1C join together.
Yeah, you would get 1D and 2A off, right?
No, because you'd play 2A. The 1C comes back to play 2A, B, and C. And then
A, B, and C are all combined to A, and then just D is its own day 2?
Yeah, yes, pretty much. So, okay. And then 3 combines, yeah. Yeah, so...
awesome. How exciting.
And that's July 4th?
July 4th is Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm saying that's one. That's B.
That's tomorrow, isn't it? Is that tomorrow?
Oh, so you get to play all the people hungover from July 4th.
Yeah, as well, exactly. It's a big bonus, that one.
That's
Hey
hilarious.
guys, tell me what's happening July 4th. What do I do here in Vegas? Some suggestions.
You go out
please.
to the strip and watch the fireworks.
Oh yeah, I did that last time I was here. I was at the Planet Hollywood, and that was okay. Maybe I got a better view here from the Flamingo. No.
Okay, Merv's going to Big Hooney's party.
Big Hoonies.
Yeah, go to Big Hoonies. That's what I would be doing if I was here tomorrow. I would definitely be at Big Hoonies.
Would Alec be there?
I'm sorry?
Would King Alec be there? That could be my.
No, he's not in Vegas.
Okay, I was going to say that could be my deciding thing. Okay, well, I could consider that. Yeah, Big Hoonies. Is it doof music mostly? We call it doof.
You'll have to buy a ticket at the door.
Okay.
Don't forget your Speedo.
Your Speedo. What's a Speedo?
Who wants to explain that to him?
Speedos as in costume.
SPEDO, Speedo. You don't know what that is? You know what that is.
I know Speedos.
But your smugglers made.
Yes, swimming trunks. Yes, inappropriately tight and small swimming trunks.
Okay, it was the grammar.
In other words, budgie smugglers.
It was the grammar that
Somebody
got
would
me.
say a banana sack. A banana.
Did you call it snugglers? Is that what you just called it, Donna? A snuggler?
Yeah.
Budgie smuggler is
No, a budgie smuggler.
A budgie.
Merv
budgie
knows
smuggler.
it's an Australian
A
thing.
budgie smuggler, yeah, as in budgerigar smuggler. You can put the budgerigar down there.
They're creating a whole new language. It's just a fucking Speedo.
Speedo is not singular. Speedos has to be plural.
No,
so
Speedo is the company name that makes it famous.
Bring your Speedo. I thought it was an Australian company anyway.
So it's an Olympic a male Olympic swimmer. Their trunks, that's what a Speedo is.
Speedos.
Yep.
I can only say it plural. I've never heard it singular.
Speedo.
So.
Well, you only wear one of them though.
If you only
so it's
same with
Speedo.
socks. Same with socks. But well, actually, you wear two of them.
No, you wear a pair of socks. Big difference. All right, I have to sign off because I have to get out of my hotel and get my way to the airport. Been a pleasure. Again, ASG, thank you for always coming in with some info that is always something we're interested in. I appreciate all of you listening, joining us, and those that listen on replay. I appreciate you too. I'm Donna. Sign off.
Yeah, just good luck everybody at Maine. Good luck everybody in poker. And speak to you later, Sherry. Good luck going on, my darling.
Hey, Sherry.
We'll do it.
Travel safe and go eat slots at the airport.
No, we want to go big on slots at the airport so I could stay here and go to Big party tomorrow. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. If you're on the felt today, good luck. If not, touch the grass. Thanks again, everybody.
Again with